How do you eat a marshmallow the size of an elephant? One bite at a time. And that is how we have to, I think, approach preventing genocide. We can't expect to do it next year, in 5 years, in 10 years. It's a multi-generational project, and it needs thousands of people, from world leaders down to the grassroots level, to understand their role in it, whether it's educating, raising an awareness, developing government policy, working at grassroots, dealing with economic issues, dealing with environmental issues that affect populations. All of these need to be coordinated and brought together. That people who are at risk of genocide are those people that fall outside the universe of obligation, the universe of moral obligation. In other words, they're marginalised, they're excluded from a community, from a society. Their neighbours don't feel obligated to them, the police don't feel obligated to them, their governments don't feel obligated to them, international community don't feel obligated to them, and so they're vulnerable. And if somebody decides to remove them, destroy them, then they have no chance of survival. Therefore, to reverse this vulnerability, what we have to do is bring people back into the universe of obligation. And how do you do that? It's just simply people seeing whether they're in our community, people on our street, people across in another country, people who are in faraway lands, that they have the right to live. Everybody has the right of not only survival, but the right of life. And if we can just change that one aspect about human nature, that we don't just turn a blind eye, that we can find ways to bring them in, connect to them, whether it's connecting people through communications, whether it's connecting them through businesses, whatever it might be. We need to always find a way. How do the most vulnerable people on earth, how do we connect them? To bring genocide to an end, we all have to play a role. It's a responsibility of individuals. The weakness of one other pledge, the responsibility to protect against genocide, is that it's about the collective responsibility. But when we talk about collective responsibility, what that gets translated to is a diffused responsibility. If it's collective, all our responsibilities, then it becomes nobody's responsibility. So to bring genocide to an end, we all, individuals, politicians, people on the street, we all have to see that it's our problem. It's not somebody else's problem. And once we begin to see it as all our problems, then we can all take our own individual responsibility to create a world without genocide.